Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and bring up our next comedian for the night. He's an okay guy. He is allowed to be here. The beard would tip you off on that, but the height might be a little bit alarming. So please do not scream. That will only startle him. Give it up for your next comedian, Levi Elmore.
Way out down for the threesome. I might buy a boat. When it's time, baby, I believe some. Find another nigga like me, cause I ain't seen.
TreeHouse, what's happening, baby? I'd like to thank Richard Bean for already saying my opener. Now I need new jokes. Yes, I am old enough to be here. The beard does help a lot, because when I shave, I look like I'm 14. When I don't shave, I look like a 14-year-old that puberty is treating kind of okay. It is kind of hard to be small, I gotta admit. I've been called all kinds of names. I am not a little person, but I am a short guy. And there's a difference. To be legally classified as a little person with dwarfism, you gotta be 4'10" and under. And I'm 5'2" in these shoes in particular. Which is the first time that having 4 inches ever actually paid off for me. So that's cool. Hasn't changed the fact that I've been called a midget almost all my life. I've been called a midget from 4 up until 6 hours ago. I was just minding my own business, sitting around, right? I figured I'd call my mom and check in. And in the background, I just hear, "You tell that midget I said shut the fuck up." And I was like, "You tell Dad I have a name." Mom, damn it. It is hard. It's hard out here for a pimp, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's hard out here. It's hard to date as a man of my size, because people say, "Oh, Levi, what kind of girls are you into?" I'm like, well, you know, I like the shorter girls, because they're the kind of people that I can see eye to eye with pretty easily. I'd date a taller girl, you know, it wouldn't stop me. I just got to prepare a little more, right? Show up to the date, flowers, chocolates, step stool. Get to the end of the date and be like, "So I had a really good time with you tonight." The real punchline is that I'd like to be on a date. Oh. No, I did go on a date with a girl a couple of weeks ago, actually, who was quite a bit taller than me. And she went to give me a hug, and she goes, "This must be fun for you, because every time I hug you, like, your face goes right into my tits like a nice little travel pillow." And I was like, damn. Holy shit, she knows. They know. I got on the phone, I called the Short People's Union. Yes, we have a union. That's why it's called the Lollipop Guild. I was like, I need Kevin Hart and Danny DeVito in a windowless van now. The bitch knows too much. It's difficult. It's hard. It makes dating apps harder. Because I already look like I could tell you everything you never needed to know about Weezer. Dating apps don't help. Like, a lot of guys who are like 5'10", 5'11", they'll lie about their height and say they're 6 foot, right? I don't know if anybody's done that. I lie about my height and say that I'm 5'6". I would go for 5'8", but you gotta keep it at least somewhat believable, you know? No, dude. Is anybody here on dating apps? Do we fuck with dating apps here? Do we fuck with it? Yeah, one. Okay, so it's me and Tobias. We're the only assholes here. Great. I'm not really big. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Thanks. We got some audience participation. I love it. No, I matched with a girl on Tinder a couple weeks ago, actually. And I don't really know how to, like, initiate conversation on Tinder. Like, I can do it in person. It's, you know, do the usual conversation topics. Tinder feels weird to me. So I was just like, "Okay, nice to meet you. What's your favorite color?" And she goes, "Oh, I don't have one. What about you?" To which I immediately responded, "Awesome. How many bodies you got in your freezer?" Because that's a serial killer answer. I have friends who are colorblind. If I ask them what their favorite color was, they'll be like, "I don't know, man. The one that you promised me is orange." I moved past that. I asked her what her favorite animal was, because I'm so good at this. She said, "I like moo cows." And then I blocked her. Not because I hate cows, but because I don't see why cows are the only animal where you can put the sound it makes in the name. Like, it makes sense, moo cows. I've heard that on a couple of occasions. But you're not going to hear like, oh, check out those bark dogs. Get a load of those meow meow kitties. Check out those blip 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 blip, blip goldfish. It's not happening. So I got off Tinder. Somebody told me to get on Bumble. They're like, yeah, man, Bumble will be great. Bumble's awesome. For those who don't know, it's like Tinder, but the girls message the guys first. So my friend was like, yeah, it'll be great. It'll work out for you. It just, you sit back and wait for the women to come talk to you. And I was like, awesome. You mean to tell me there's a dating app where I put in essentially zero effort and just kind of wait for a girl to talk to me? I don't need an app for that! That's where I am now! You're not allowed to give me dating advice anymore, Tobias. Dumb. It's dumb. I went to the next logical conclusion for our area, right? Which is, of course, farmersonly.com. Right? Oh, hey! We got a couple of users on the site. Farmersonly.com, the #1 dating app for family reunions everywhere, right? You've seen those commercials, right? Where it's like, you don't have to be lonely, you fucking red Solo cup. And it's like a little dance. Farmer Jed sitting on his porch with his MacBook, clickety-clacking away. Like Miranda Lambert's gonna moonwalk out of the shit like some kind of CMT weird science situation. I've been that far out in the country. No way in hell are you going to find a good Wi-Fi connection. Google Fiber has not made its way to Paris, Illinois. I am so sorry to tell you. Somebody told me that too. Somebody was like, Levi, you gotta start dressing more country. Real women love country boys in this area. And I was like, name one example. And they were like, Jason Aldean. And I was like, he's a basic bitch. Grew up in a cul-de-sac. His dad makes 6 figures. He bought a hat and a truck and went, all right, here's your record contract. How many times has Jason Aldean driven a tractor? Probably none. How many times have I driven a tractor? 1.5. It was great. I drove it around my uncle's farm, and then I went for another lap. I got halfway, and a bee landed on the steering wheel, and I got scared, and I jumped off. Bees are scary. My uncle came over and took a long drag of his cigarette and just went, God damn it, Levi, fuck. That's how he talked. He just went, well, at least you turned it off this time, god damn it. I used to make girls think I was way more interesting than I actually was. Because he lived at, when he had the farm, he was over at, it was in Paris, Illinois. So I was going over there one summer, and this girl that I was kind of chatting up in school, this was like, 8th grade. She was like, what's your plan for the summer? And I was like, oh, I'm going to go hang out at my uncle's farm in Paris. And she wasn't from the area originally, so she goes, oh my God, that's so, like, you're so cultured. Does he have a vineyard? And I was like, oh, hun. No, he's got 3 goats and fucking lot of weed. So yes. If your idea of culture is Cheech and Chong, mixed with a little dash of Silence of the Lambs, then yes, I'm the fucking Smithsonian. I hate dating apps, man. I'd honestly have more luck giving a girl my LinkedIn, because at least that has a picture of me in a suit. Just gonna start treating relationships like jobs, because they're a lot alike, relationships and jobs, right? A lot of people don't have one, and they're looking for one. COVID certainly didn't do them any favors. So they go to matchmakers and apps to try to help them find the one that's right for them. And a lot of people are stuck in ones they hate, and it sucks out their soul every day of their miserable existence, but they gotta stick with it for the kids and the health insurance. So my next first date, I'm just gonna treat it like a job interview. And I'm just gonna be like, hi, I'm Levi, there's my resume. Thanks for meeting me here at the Olive Garden conference room. Now, I know I don't have a lot of experience in this field, however, I like to think I can make up for that with my can-do attitude, my open availability, my willingness to work in groups, especially groups of 3, and my skills with Microsoft Office. And also, no, you cannot contact any of my former employers. Thank you. I don't know, dude. It's there's been a lot of talk about sex and things tonight. And in spite of how I look, you know, I'll be fucking sometimes. You know. But I heard about this job that I thought would be cool. It's called a sexologist. And I was like, that's like a sexy scientist kind of a thing. It's awesome. Turns out it's just like a therapist for just like sexual dysfunction. I thought it was gonna be like an Indiana Jones situation, like there'd be hats and whips involved and I'd be diving headfirst into a bush. The only way my sex life is like a scientist is like a real world scientist, which is I get no field work and I'm stuck behind a desk begging people to give me grants and just doing research all day. Good God, man. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's hard out here. It's difficult. I got a couple more and then I'm gonna cruising on out of here. But I forgot where I was gonna go next. I have a peanut allergy, which is why I could never be president, not just because I'm small and nervous, but because nobody needs a president who could be assassinated with a fucking Reese's Pieces. It is interesting, you know, a lot of people tell me, you know, now that we're in Halloween season, they're like, what's the deal with fun-size candy bars? Why can't you just have king-size candy bars all the time? I'm like, well, the real difference for me is how depressed I am that day. Because if I'm just like looking for attention, like my friends haven't answered my text and I really need to know if we're getting dinner at 9, it's a fun-sized Butterfinger kind of a day, right? But if like my dog dies and my grandma dies and both doctors in both situations kick me square in the nuts, that's a king-size Baby Ruth. I'm committed to that. But a lot of people ask me, you know, they go, Levi, you're allergic to peanuts. Are you also allergic to insert nut here? Which is, ironically enough, a tramp stamp my ex had. No, I miss that chick, honestly. It was awesome. One time this is just a total non sequitur before I get to the actual joke. One time she made me warm up coconut oil and wanted me to like massage her down in bed, like she'd lay down a tarp the whole 9 yards. I don't know if you've ever fucked on a slip and slide before. It was awesome. She did this weird thing where she tightened up, shot my ass across the room like a fucking Nerf dart. It was the best. Anyway, back to the... But people ask me, they go, Levi, are you only allergic to peanuts or are you allergic to these others? So I'm here today just to tell you, I am allergic to peanuts. I am not allergic to walnuts, pecans, cashews, cola nuts, pine nuts, coconuts, which are not actually nuts, grape nuts, chufa nuts, acorns, and also these nuts. Ah, got them. All right, TreeHouse, how we doing, baby? Woo-hoo! Make some noise. We got a few more comedians coming your way. I want to thank you all for coming out. I'm going to give it up for your next comedian all night. So make some noise for Nathan Marshall. Woo!